Hey babes, my name's Hannah.
And my name is Chasity.
Welcome back to Bookish Babes. Today we have a special guest.
Hi, me again, Santana.
We're super excited to have her here. She finally read the Love Me With Lies series by Tarryn, which, if you don't already know, The Opportunist is like one of our all-time favorite books. And we have been begging her to read it forever, and she finally did it. So, very exciting. So we're here to just do a whole book babble on the entire trilogy. So this is going to be very spoiler-filled. If you haven't read all three of them, definitely come back after you've read them, because we're just going to kind of talk, and whatever comes out, and it's going to be very spoilery.
It's very, very fun for us because we have done a book babble on the Love Me With Lies series previously. So, first of all, it was fun doing like a reread several years later. And
although, like, I was telling you, I don't know how often I can reread these books because they leave me very like emotionally raw. Like, I just get like
true. So there's but also, you know, to get
a new perspective.
A new perspective. Yeah. Which Santana and I and Santana and Hannah also have differing views on many different things, but also the same on some books. So
Correct.
It's going to be interesting.
I've already warned them via text that they're not going to like my opinions today.
Oh no.
I'm interested to hear what they are.
I know. I initially was like, oh, why? Because like she rated the first book 5 stars.
I did.
Then I looked on Goodreads and the other two were not rated 5 stars.
Yeah.
I was not surprised by Dirty Red.
I'm not surprised by Dirty Red either.
Oh yeah, no.
I don't think you're supposed to have a good time reading Dirty Red.
You're
like,
not.
No.
Yeah.
But to bring it back around to what you said, so when I read The Opportunist, I feel great afterwards.
It ends very well.
So I feel just wonderful after that one. After Dirty Red, I'm like really worn out, and I just angry after that one, which I mean is intended. Like, she's not a great person to be in that perspective. It's a terrible character's head to be in. And then the third one, I definitely agree that I just leave off just emotionally raw. I feel like the biggest complaint I see from the books are that like they don't like the characters, and I feel like that's the point. They're very unlikable characters, and I think that's why I love the story so much. Same.
It's very much proves the toxic people deserve toxic people. Stereotype. You're not meant to.
I don't think
love
you're supposed
each
to
and
like
one of them and be like rooting for any one person.
But I also feel like it
100%.
makes it really realistic because they're all just like human beings, and
for sure. And no one wants how do I phrase this without being an asshole? No person who's reading specifically off book talk tables wants that.
Correct.
They want to live in fantasy world where
they want the happily ever after.
Every time.
Correct. So like I don't consider the Love Me With Lies series a romance at all. I think it's a love story, but it's not a romance. And I would never, even though The Opportunist is one of my all-time favorite books, I don't recommend it to everybody.
Because I don't think it's
not for everyone.
No, it's not everybody's
cup of tea. Polarizing.
Yeah.
It really is. It definitely shows human flaws. And it definitely puts like a spotlight on the fact that we're very emotional beings, and we can be very selfish beings, just led by our emotions and not really logical.
And even though they, spoiler alert, they end up together in the end, it's still like not really a happy ending. You know what I mean? Which I think I also appreciate. You don't see that very often.
Okay. So
we want to start from the beginning.
I mean, I definitely think we should.
I don't even know how to start.
I'll start.
Okay.
I think it should have been one book and done. I don't think Dirty Red and Thief are necessary.
T.
And if I ever reread them, I'll never read those two again.
You'll just reread The Opportunist.
I will just reread The Opportunist. They shouldn't have ended up together.
T.
Should have ended.
I also have the controversial theory that they should not have ended up together.
Okay, that's really interesting. I just feel like they deserve each other.
Oh, they do. That's why they shouldn't have ended up together. 100% they deserve each other. They're meant to be.
They are.
But they're going to destroy each other.
that is why I think they
And
should not be together.
Everyone around them.
Yeah.
They will, yeah. I also kind of feel
But that's why I feel like they should have ended up together, because when they're not together, they destroy everybody
Other people,
else.
yeah.
You know what I mean? They need to like keep the catastrophe to themselves.
I still think they'll destroy other people though in the process.
You know, same.
They're just both really
They're just-
destructive people.
They are.
Mhm.
And I don't know.
I love Olivia. I do.
Same.
I adore her, but she's
Yeah.
so destructive.
I was gonna say,
grew
is there
on me.
really
Yeah.
ever? Okay, I'm gonna sound terrible
Go ahead.
too, because I absolutely love Olivia too. But is there really ever going to be happiness for either one of them?
No.
Even if they're together,
That's what I said. Like, there's not a happy ending.
there's not going to be there's never going to be, because she's gonna drive herself crazy with that, and he's gonna drive himself crazy. Like, they're always gonna constantly be like thinking, are they enough for the other one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because of their destructive past. It's so, I mean, yeah.
I think it was Caleb who said, like, they're essentially if you put a hurricane and a tornado in the same room,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's just poetic.
But then when they were apart, like, they hurt other people in the process.
Oh,
Like, no
yeah.
matter how you feel about Leah, like,
Well,
she
you
was
know what?
collateral.
No, I don't think necessarily when they're apart they're hurting other people. Because while they're apart, Noah and Olivia are okay.
Are they?
They are I mean, they're not happy, but they're okay together.
Mm-hmm.
It's when Caleb starts coming around again
Mm-hmm.
and again and again. I think they could have worked it out. I really, truly do.
Mm-hmm.
I think Noah and
Justice
Olivia.
for Noah.
Honestly, Noah deserved better than Olivia. I'm
That's
sorry.
the tea.
That's just the truth. I think they could have worked it out. Like, I feel like every couple has, like, major arguments, especially when it comes to kids. Like,
Well, it's interesting because when I read the series for the first time, I remember, and I think I told you this, I remember it feeling like, for whatever reason, that, like, Olivia, even though I loved her, was the villain of the story and Caleb was the nice guy. And I think it's because I was much younger when I read it for the first time. Now reading it as an adult, Caleb is toxic as shit.
oh, for sure.
Caleb is, like, borderline worse than Olivia.
I don't think I agree with that.
He knows who she is and he weaponizes that sometimes.
I would agree.
Once again, I love him and I love them.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, he has his toxic moments.
Oh, for sure.
Olivia is who she is, but, like...
we see why she is what she is.
And-
Caleb is just toxic
Well,
for toxicity.
And Olivia's
like-
always honest about who she is.
Oh, for sure.
Caleb isn't always honest about who
Clearly.
he is. Clearly. We got a text in the group chat. You're telling me this man was faking having amnesia? Like...
No, I was in the parking lot, like, eating my breakfast,
Yeah.
listening to the audiobook, like, outside of work, and I, like, paused it, and I went, what the actual fuck did I just listen to?
I love that part, though. In the end, when they're in the courtroom.
Yes.
And he's like, I never forgot. And she was like, fucking
Excuse me?
sorry.
I'm sorry. And then when he says it to Leah, and Leah's like,
Also, I am sorry. I would. Tell me why my fucking ex gonna come back and ask me to fucking
Let
defend
that bitch go to prison.
bye, have fun.
that motherfucker.
You're not going to look
Bye.
like orange with that
See ya.
red hair. Best of luck.
I don't
Ain't
care
gonna
if it's
happen.
my first case or anything.
Don't
That's
care.
just going.
Yeah.
Deuces.
Bye.
Sure, I'll represent her.
Represent her
ain't
ass
gonna
straight
fucking get
to
up.
jail.
Yeah.
No.
I will say, I appreciate Tarryn's way to write them all consistently and yet differently. Because we all see people differently from one another. Like, the way I see Chasity is going to be different than the way you perceive Chasity.
Mhm.
Your interactions with her are different than my interactions, and vice versa. And I think Tarryn does a really good job in the books, like, because we get all three of their perspectives and their interactions with one another.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. And I think it does a good job holding them consistent. Like, you can tell which character's which. Like, they don't change majorly
That's
because...
interesting that you say that.
Yeah.
I've never thought about it like that way, but you're right, because after reading Dirty Red, like, Dirty Red always softens me towards Olivia a little bit.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I think if we didn't get Dirty Red, I think Olivia would have been the villain the whole time. But because we got Dirty Red and we see how much of a bitch Leah is and, like, what Olivia's
And
going
Caleb.
through. Yeah, oh, yeah, God. I also think, though, Caleb is the entire Dirty Red series.
Mhm.
Caleb is showing his true self, other than the flashbacks. the flashbacks where he's pretending to have Leah, like, it's very clear, like, again, consistent, but different based on who's perceiving him and going through
Same
the
character,
motions.
different fonts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do.
That's a good point to bring up. I never thought about it that way, but yeah.
Thank you.
You're like, thanks.
Thanks. I've been thinking about that for...
I have an English degree.
I got it for something.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I think that's very difficult to do. Because how many books have you read where it's like, they're the same series, same characters, they don't feel the same from one book to the next.
Uh-huh.
You can tell they're the same character, but it's different based on who's perceiving them.
Yeah.
And I think that says something about why Olivia is the way that she is, because the first book is from her point of view, and she views herself so poorly. So I feel like you view her a certain way, and then when you see her through other people's eyes, you're like, oh, she's just like very broken.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I don't care what perspective I see Leah through.
No, fuck
Leah
that bitch.
is absolutely one of the worst characters I've ever read about.
Absolutely, 100%.
There's no redeeming.
And like,
No.
I was trying to explain this to Hannah. Like, I understand.
Oh, yeah.
There's little flecks in there that like try to make you understand. Like, there's areas of her life that sucked.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there's a certain point that you reach where you either have to like make it or break it kind of thing. Like, you either give in to the darkness and say, like, I'm going to become this terrible thing because of the way that my life has been, or I'm going to be better than what I have been given.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot always blame it on your parents.
And I don't mean to compare trauma, but like, people have been through way worse shit than Leah have, and like not been jealous of their newborn daughter because
that's the thing, is
their
like,
husband
there's
was focusing on that.
and that's the whole thing. There are people out there like Leah, which
Yes.
just kills me, because like there's people who don't connect with their children and like will literally think a baby is something that will keep a relationship alive, which, by the way, guys, that does not solve a fucking problem.
Clearly.
And they'll do that, and then they'll be like, they don't think things through, which, another thing, I just fucking hate people that don't think things through. Yeah, you do have to raise that child, you do have to take care of that child, and now we're very jealous because our significant other loves that child. What the fuck?
I gotta
I just
say,
don't get it.
she uses the excuse of not connecting over and over again, and then she connects. And even throughout Caleb's book, she's like, it's my child. But like, she's not...
She wants to be a mother when it's convenient for her, and she wants to connect when it's... But like, and we even see that at the very end of Thief, when what's her face, Estella,
yeah.
grows up and ends up like living with Caleb and Olivia, because
At
they
age
never
9.
have that relationship. Ever.
Estella was always just a bargaining chip, even after she lost Caleb.
Yes. It was always a way to get back at Caleb.
Yep. Bitch.
I know. Leah is just, and it makes me really appreciate Tarryn as a writer, because like, it takes some serious skill to write a character like that has not a single fucking redeeming quality. Not one.
Not one.
And like Dirty Red did not soften me towards Leah at all. At all.
No. And everything with her sister, I will say, could care less. There is no point.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Listen, Tarryn, I love you. Don't hold anything that I say against Chasity, because I know you guys are bros now.
Not bros.
Yeah. But, like, that was unnecessary. Could care less about her sister.
I liked the story with her sister. It doesn't do anything to help me feel anything towards Leah.
You also don't see anything
Right,
after.
like, I thought you meant pointless, like, in the sense that, like, it was pointless towards her character development, which I get that. Like,
I mean, like, it plays a part in it, but, like, her bringing her home with her, we don't see that play out. You know what I mean?
That does not, once again, it doesn't soften me towards
No.
her. I think it is, like, interesting, though, like, to her backstory to see how much she like idolized her sister.
Yes, I feel like everything about her backstory
Yeah.
worked, and that was important to have like those interactions. Like her sister was truly the only one that cared and loved her.
Mm-hmm.
Having her sister have shot herself and being like in that place, and I just felt like that was a little necessary.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Okay.
And that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
What do I know?
Yeah, I guess we never really saw it play out. Like, we never really
Even
saw...
in Thief, like,
Mm-hmm.
we get no confirmation that she actually moved in or anything.
True.
And, like, Leah's probably somebody who just hired somebody to
Not that I
stay with
truly
her. Yeah.
Care.
Yeah.
'Cause
Another
again,
Sam.
Yeah, like, I could literally never hear about Leah ever again in my life and, like, be fine.
Yeah. I really think, like, she's, like, literally one of, like,
I imagine she just died.
Yeah, like, I
Mm-hmm.
despise her more than I despise Tamlin. And
I
that's
hope
saying
she
something.
didn't get a happy ever after.
Oh,
Which is
she
why
would've.
I am
Oh,
glad that
she
she
would've.
didn't end up with... What's his face?
Sam?
Sam. Because
Fuck no.
Sam is too good for her.
Sam was
and she does
Sam
not
was
deserve a
the
happy
shit,
ending.
let me tell you.
Sam
would put her in her
straight
place all the
I've
time.
always been like, oh, you're a bitch, aren't
Straight
you?
savage.
I love Sam.
Be like, yeah, because you're not
Mm-hmm.
fucking doing anything.
And can we talk about the true unsung hero of the trilogy, Cammy?
Fucking love
I
Tammy.
did
Cammy.
not like Cammy and the Opportunist.
But you,
She grew
yeah.
on me throughout the entirety of Dirty Red
Mm-hmm.
and Thief.
Mm-hmm.
But in The Opportunist, I thought
She
was so
tried
stupid.
to warn Leah. She was like, listen,
Came
there's
up.
only a matter of time before Caleb and Olivia get back together and, like, fucking destroy everybody in their path. So get out while you can.
Yup.
And she didn't listen.
And you know what? She paid the price.
But, like, she deserved it.
Oh, yeah.
She knew. She knew that
deserved
he
it.
was never going to love her, and so he tried to, like, you know, use those bargaining chips. Like her own daughter.
Wackadoodle.
It's wackadoodle time.
Honestly.
She's a wackadoodle. I cannot believe she fucking forgot the child at daycare.
I can.
That shit. Just...
Yeah.
She forgot to take her out of the car when she first got to daycare.
That's right. That's right. And then she got drunk and, like, crashed into somebody else.
Immediately
Yeah.
got into a car. Like, yeah, that's
And
the,
the whole
bitch I
point
want.
was just, like, the whole time she was just like, oh my god, Caleb's gonna be so mad.
I don't
No.
It was
Oh my
never
God,
like,
my
oh my god, I
child.
hope they, like, didn't call and, like, put her into foster care and, like, is she okay?
Oh my god, my baby.
I didn't have her enough milk, like, yeah. Because it's totally reasonable, and this is where Caleb is kind of toxic. It's totally reasonable for a new mother to need a break.
Yes.
Like, he went on a business trip immediately after she delivered and was very adamant, like, he didn't want any nannies, he didn't want her going to daycare, and that is toxic.
Yes.
Because,
Not
like,
helpful.
Leah is still her own person, and she does get a break.
But also, to be fair, her mother was supposed to be there.
Who is not helpful, by the way.
Yes.
Fuck no, and I don't
Not
understand.
helpful to her.
I don't understand
And-
why Caleb spends so much time
Yeah.
being like, she's fine, and then he's like ready to fucking knock the hell out of her dad. Excuse me? It's two takes two to tango.
And not
She's
only that,
just
but
bad.
that was so that I was waiting till Hannah was done, but I was gonna point out that even more. That is even more toxic than saying, like, I not only do I not want you to get a nanny or get any help from any friends or anything else, but I'm gonna bring your mom, who you fucking can't stand,
And who Leah repeatedly says, I don't want her to come.
and the one person you literally do not want helping you. I'm gonna bring her.
While you're, like,
instead.
directly postpartum with a newborn baby.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely not. Toxic.
Oh yeah.
That's not helpful.
I'm not gonna defend any of these characters.
I know. Did
With
he
the
maybe make
exception
Leah
of
more
Noah.
crazy? Maybe.
I will defend Noah. He's the only one I will defend.
I mean, Noah has his faults too, but he is at his core, like, a good person.
Oh yeah, no.
I
like,
also just feel like, I do feel bad for Noah with everything that happened, but, like, Noah, literally before he really even knew anything about her, knew how how she felt about Olivia, and, like, he probably always knew that, like, he was going to come in second place to Caleb.
Oh, for sure. He went into that knowing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did.
But
And then when everything happened with the miscarriage, like, that just broke my heart for Olivia.
Oh,
Like,
God.
absolutely fucking shattered me. Made me want to slit my own throat. This is what I'm talking about. Like, that's what leaves me so emotionally raw, is, like, hearing about shit like that. That not one, but two miscarriages that she went through.
at the very end, yeah.
And having no support. In fact, like, her husband was almost, like, not relieved, but, like, not sad the way that she was. And
Yeah.
That's really difficult. Yeah.
yeah.
And then for her and Caleb to end up together and not be able to have any children.
Yeah, it's interesting because I was reading a review one time, and somebody like said that it was like they don't, because of all the things they've done, they don't deserve to have a truly happy ending. So that was kind of like them paying for everything that they've done.
Okay.
And while that's like fucked up, it is, you know, it's not like they can just ride off in the sunset, have 6 babies, and like they have a white picket fence. Like that's just not something that.
But it's also just reality.
Yes.
And like I don't think that like was necessarily like them paying for it, but it was just. I don't know. And I'm not religious, but like I do think that like things do come around.
Oh, for sure. Karma.
And so like
Karma is
people who have done bad things like that aren't gonna have a perfect life. No, I know he's gonna have a perfect life, but you know what I mean. You can't get everything that you want.
You can get perfect in your sense of things.
Yeah. And they did. I think they did. I think that they like have as much happiness as 2 people like them can have.
And I don't think they deserved it.
T.
I thought Thief was unnecessary, especially.
I think Olivia deserved it. I have to say, it's like, it softened me to Olivia, but hardened me to Caleb.
I think Olivia deserved happiness, but I think she could have found it in a much better outlet.
And I don't think Olivia, like, if Olivia, like, existed, although, like, Olivia was based off of Tarryn, and she did, like, Tarryn has a happy life. But, like, I also don't know that, like, Olivia would ever let herself be truly happy. So, who knows what happened 5 years after Thief ended. Like, who knows?
I think the whole scene in Rome...
That was everything to me. I loved the ending of The Opportunist.
I think at that point, Caleb could have just ate shit and died, and Olivia would have been okay.
She's the only one that had any sort of development to me. Like, the other 2 just stayed shitty.
Yes! Yes! Thank you.
I agree with that.
I'm so mad though. There's literally also, Chasity and I were talking one day, and she asked me how I was liking, it was a text. She's like, oh, how are you liking it? And I was like, you know, I really like Amnesia Caleb.
Yeah.
Really liked Amnesia Caleb.
I said this is not gonna go well.
Yeah, it's like when I started reading Crescent City, I was like, I love Danica. I said, that's not gonna go well. I said, oh, okay. All right.
Well, you know, I did like Amnesia Caleb, because he was pretending, and he got me. He got me.
You feel that betrayal.
What a dick.
But, like, can I just go off on a tangent? What's the worst thing that Olivia did? Lie and pretend like her and Caleb didn't date? Like, she drove a girl who wanted to get an abortion to a clinic.
Probably the Jessica thing, yeah.
But it's not like she convinced her to do it.
No, and even Caleb makes a point to be like, you didn't tell her, like, just, she never wanted kids.
Yeah.
Like, she, even to, like,
that
adulthood.
was so cold of Caleb in the end to bring her back.
I was just
forgot
thinking about that, bringing her to
the
dinner.
whole thing when he was like, oh, my date, and she was like, who'd you bring? Like, just, like, looking at, and she walked in, and I went,
that was so cold of Caleb, but I kind of loved it.
Toxic king.
Toxic king. Please know
Fucking
that anytime
savage.
I talk shit about Caleb or Olivia, it comes from a place of, like, once again, they're, like, The Opportunist is one of my all-time favorite books. But, like, that was so toxic of him. But it was so typical Caleb. Just to, like, get a rise out of her. Just to, like, see how she would react.
Just to keep playing.
Of course.
Like, keep playing a game.
But once again, that's another person who was collateral to Caleb and Olivia.
You know, I don't think she should have had her heart broken in that situation. I think she should have been very clear, and, like, I don't think anyone's hiding the fact that Caleb and Olivia are still, like, on each other's dicks. Like, there is no getting, and I feel like Jessica should have seen that.
Mm-hmm.
And she wasn't even, like,
fucking sure.
She wasn't around that long to be like, I'm so heartbroken.
Well, and also, like, this ain't the first time this happened to her. Like,
with these 2
why are you back
motherfuckers.
in the why are you back in the driver's seat?
Yeah.
You know where this
Like,
is
he
heading.
literally took you to dinner at her house.
I'm
Like,
dead.
Like, bro.
Yeah.
And, like, you knew he wants kids. Like, you really telling me the man who just had a kid, at the time, you know, had a kid,
Yeah.
and just left that kid, he's not hurting, he doesn't want other kids in the future?
It's like when he says he doesn't want kids again, like, of course
You
it's so
believe that?
fresh after that. Yeah.
You believe that? Like, this man was a father for, what, 6 months?
Mm-hmm.
Fully devoted father, and then
Yeah.
he had it all taken away, and
That
he's
was
like...
wild, too. That was wild of Leah. Leah was in a silly, goofy mood when she said to be,
Not the silly
to
goofy
be
mood.
like, no, that's your brother's kid. Sorry. I lied. That was wild.
Also, for Caleb to never hold that against her his brother,
Yeah.
he never confronts.
That's what she said, right? Is that it was what's his face?
She didn't specifically
but
say
like
it.
that he knew
But
they
they're
slept
literally
together, and then
yeah. Well, and then like the next book, like one of the first scenes is him telling his mom, being like, "I still get a paternity test. It could be your other sons." Like
That's
he
right.
knows.
Yeah.
It's still probably your grandchild.
He knows. But like, you're not gonna
Yeah.
hold it against him,
I
like,
know.
bro. Couldn't be me.
I wish
And then when the kid is in the emergency room,
Mhm.
can't get a hold of Leah, can't get a hold of the brother, so that shit's still happening.
And then when Olivia smacks the fuck out of Leah, so he's just hanging out there watching. They're like,
Damn.
he literally says they're separated, brothers on each side. Like, it's very clear they picked their battles at this point.
they're like, damn, that's wild.
But he's still laughing his ass off. He's like, you know what? You deserve it, bitch.
Yeah.
Give her another one.
Yeah, because everybody knows Leah's fucking terrible. She should have gone to prison, honestly, just because she is like a menace to society.
Right.
Can we talk about
Literally.
Olivia's drop, though? Her, like, bomb about Christopher?
am I forgetting?
The son? The 17-year-old?
That's right.
Wait, what am I forgetting?
The maid's son that Leah was sleeping with?
Yeah. Who was
Oh,
underage.
that's right. Leah's a pedophile.
Confirmed.
Yeah,
If
he's
she
a
couldn't get
pedophile.
any worse,
Yeah.
she's a manipulative bitch,
I
but
don't
also
remember
a
his
pedophile.
name. Yeah, Leah's a pedophile.
Confirmed. Don't give her children. But no, for real, imagine if she'd had a son first with Caleb. How would she have reacted? She was so, like, estranged from Estella. But if she had had a son who
That would
looked
be
like
the
Caleb,
light of her life.
can I compare this to something?
Hmm.
If she had had a son like Caleb, do you think it would have been like a Snape if Harry Potter looked like Lily and was a girl?
Wait, hold on. I need to catch up.
Stop it.
Are you
Snape?
asking what I think you're asking?
Yeah. Snape treats Harry bad because he looks like James.
I think it would have been, I don't know that she would have taken it that far, but I think it would have been sort of like how some others are, like, there's like some emotional incest involved there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they definitely like have a weird, you know, you hear about like
Yes,
those mothers who
yes.
like hate whoever their sons date and
They like sleep in the same beds and he's
Yeah.
like an adult and like
yeah. I think that their sons do no wrong. That's their baby.
every girl is the worst.
Yes. I think it would have been that sort of situation.
Thank God it wasn't.
Poor Estella, though. Can we talk about Estella and the fact that she's gonna have to go to therapy because of them?
Lifelong.
Like the cycle continues. You know?
Hate to see how her relationships end up later on. Because she's not like she's got very good role models.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to think
Sam,
Olivia
take
calmed
that
down as
child
she got
off.
older.
Why?
Olivia very clearly calmed down.
Yeah, I'd
Even
like to think
throughout
that
the
Olivia
books.
could be a good role model to her. Even to be like,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
here's all the fucked up things I've done, don't be like me.
I really don't think Olivia did that many fucked up things.
Once again, T, what did she do? Lie? They all lied.
What's the worst she did? She drove away and hooked up with a stranger because she saw Caleb cheating on her. What she
Yeah,
assumed
and
at
he
the time.
like didn't
didn't stop her. Didn't
he wasn't
clarify.
immediately like, this isn't what you think. Like, you know what I mean?
Even
Yeah.
in the hotel
He's a
room.
dick.
Even in the hotel room after like he goes back, he doesn't even tell her like, actually this is what happened.
He lets her think that he
The
cheated.
whole time.
Yeah.
Toxic.
Because he's a dick.
She was.
And I
you
love
know
him.
what? She was
He's
in the
a
right for
guy.
it. She was in the right for it, and I support her.
Mm-hmm. I support women's rights, but I also support women's wrongs.
T. Oh my god.
And I don't
Punished
like that
women.
they villainized her for the whole Jessica situation. Jessica
No.
wanted to get an abortion. Jessica asked her to take. Jessica was like, hey, do you think I should do this? And like,
She didn't say yeah, do it. She was
Right.
like, if you feel comfortable and that's what you want to do.
she didn't talk her out of it. She didn't talk her into it. Of course, she had her own. Like,
She
we
had
all
her
have
motives.
selfish shit going through our brains at all times,
Oh,
right?
for
You know?
sure.
T.
And so,
That doesn't necessarily make you a bad person. That makes you
no,
human.
but what she verbalized and
See.
what she did.
Having bad thoughts does not make you a bad person. Makes you human.
T.
It's whether or not you act on them.
But if I remember correctly, how did Kayla find out about the abortion?
She.
that her? That may have been bad.
He told Cammy. She told Cammy she took her,
knowing that
Cammy would spread it that Jessica had an abortion. But then Olivia did tell Caleb. Was it in The Opportunist or in Thief? I don't remember, that she's the one who took her and, like, convinced her to do it. Because, you know, that's how Olivia thinks.
Like, Olivia thinking that she's, like, the worst person ever.
Yeah.
She didn't convince anybody.
No.
And if anything, like, that's a good person. Like,
that's a good friend.
Yeah. I know she had her own, like, thoughts about why she wanted it to happen, but, like...
Listen, I have thoughts about running into the back of a semi-truck with my car.
I get intrusive thoughts too, Queen. Like,
don't act on them.
Yeah.
Got here just fine today.
Yeah. Like, are you ever just driving in your car and you're like, what would happen if I just opened up my door and jumped out?
Yeah.
While I'm moving?
Or you get, like, the really, like, the cars that have the trailers. You're like, what happens if I just drive up on it?
Yeah. yeah. Just for free ride. Just gas is expensive.
All the time. Yeah. But just hitch a ride. Like, what's supposed to happen?
Yeah.
I die? Woo.
That took a turn.
Best case scenario, I get a free ride.
Yeah. Leah, I feel like, do you guys watch Vanderpump Rules?
No.
Okay, never mind.
No, continue. Someone out here watches it.
I just feel like if you've ever watched Vanderpump Rules, season 1 Stassi Schroeder is who Leah is. She's just fucking crazy.
So,
which I love Stassi now, but
I only know her from her book.
I love Stassi now, and like the Stassi that wrote a book, she's great. Season 1 Stassi, and I think it's because she was dating Jax. Like, was Leah more crazy because of Caleb? Who knows? You know what I mean? Leah was always crazy, but like Caleb certainly didn't help.
Caleb definitely did not help, but I think that bitch is still crazy.
You know,
Tarryn's really good about writing men in her books like that. She did the same thing with the wives.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously,
that motherfucker.
She was the crazy one, but what was his name? Seth? Seth knew she was crazy.
And he definitely manipulated that to his advantage.
Yes, he did.
And did Caleb, like, wounded from his relationship with Olivia, know that Leah was crazy and he could do anything because he loved her, or she loved him so much, and like use that? Did he use that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
100%.
You know who Leah should end up with?
Why? Because men are garbage.
She should end up with Joe Goldberg. I think they'd make a good couple.
Leah should end up with death, I think. I just feel like she should end up in an urn. But that's besides the point.
Not even buried. In an urn.
That's besides the point.
I'm just saying, she's one of my, least... And
it's all props to Tarryn, because, like, I've never read about another character like that I've just, like...
Listen,
because even, like, other evil characters, they're good villains. You know what I mean?
I was just thinking, I was like, I could sit here and justify Cersei Lannister to you all day, every day.
Yeah.
Cersei's a great villain.
Not justify. Like, she wasn't...
No, I can justify Cersei Lannister.
Oh, yeah, that's a little...
Suburban.
That's a lot, but... But I'm thinking of, like Amarantha from back in time.
No.
Like, she's a fucking great villain.
She is.
Leah can literally just die. She could just die.
Her and Ramsay.
Yeah, her and Ramsay from Game of Thrones.
For each other.
That's who she should end up with. If she can't end up burned in the urn, that's who she should end up with.
Burned in the urn.
That's my band name.
Featuring Leah.
It's her title track.
And it's just an urn.
Yeah.
It does nothing.
It's a red urn. It was wild.
The first one's the only one that exists for me. I'm sorry. Like,
okay. I mean, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I bought the audiobook for Dirty Red, and I'm so mad about it.
Like, the one that The Opportunist is one of my all-time favorite books.
Feel good about that, because you're supporting Tarryn.
Yeah. It's true.
I love Tarryn.
Obviously, like, The Opportunist is like a 5-star read for me. I never know how to rate Dirty Red, because I think, like, it's a 5-star as far as, like, writing skill goes, because, like, it takes a lot of skill to write a character like that and be, like, inside of their mind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of like Verity in that sense, when you're, like, inside.
She reminds me
Verity's,
a lot of Verity.
Yes. But, like, I don't know how to rate that book.
I gave Dirty Red a 3, not because I thought it was bad, because, like you said, it's written very well.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't enjoy it.
Right, you don't enjoy reading Dirty Red.
I didn't enjoy it.
I don't think you're supposed to. Like, I think that's the point. But...
And honestly, when I thought the last two were just retellings of the first book from their perspectives, and I was high-key, like, excited for that.
Mm.
Started reading Dirty Red, and she was, like, giving birth, and it was like, nah, fam, this ain't it.
But I do like that about Dirty Red and Thief, how there's like some flashback chapters where you do get
I do
some of
like that.
Yeah.
I wish it had just all been.
You wish that Thief had just been.
Yeah, Thief was my least favorite.
See, I liked seeing adult Caleb and Olivia and like how they've grown and how Olivia got better and Caleb just got fucking worse.
Thief is also my least favorite, actually.
Really.
Yeah.
Dirty Red's my least favorite.
But I do like how we get some flashbacks, but the story continues in all three. I like that we continue on. I don't know that I would have liked them as much if it was just from their point of views. Like, opportunist from their point of views. Although all 5 of them are 5 stars for me.
I don't know if I've ever rated Dirty Red.
I checked.
Did I?
No.
Because I don't know how to rate that book.
I checked to see what you guys had rated them before I, like...
It fucked me up.
Right, so I want to give it 5 stars because, like, it was written really well, but I don't enjoy reading it.
Yeah.
I did enjoy reading it. Okay, because I had never read anything similar to that.
Fair.
And reading, like, as a writer and reading that and being able to create somebody that is just... so
awful,
different and
like,
vile.
The way that I felt while I was reading it, I didn't feel good while reading it. You know what I mean? And not that like everything has to make you feel good, but like I was just like, this bitch is a fucking worst. Like there's literally no good, like there's no redeeming qualities that she has. She's never been a good person ever in her whole life.
No. I rated Thief
I was
the
shook.
same.
I was shooketh and shocked, and I like feeling those things. I don't need to feel great.
Right.
I don't need to feel great, and honestly, sometimes the more disgusted I am, the more I like the book. So, I'm kind of fucked in the head, so 5 stars.
Yeah. I've never rated it because I don't know how to. Like, big part of me wants to give it 5 stars, but like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you rate a book that makes you feel that way? I don't know how to.
Fair.
I don't know, Queen.
I gave Thief 3 stars too. Not because I didn't enjoy it, but it was my least favorite. And honestly, didn't want to be in Caleb's head.
That's, you know what? Fucking fair.
Didn't want to be there. Didn't want to continue the story. Didn't
Not
want them
Caleb
to get
being
together.
the true villain of the trilogy.
Didn't want them to end up together. I didn't want any of it.
It took me a long time to sit down and read Thief after Dirty Red, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Why's that?
Like my first time reading it?
Yeah, why?
I don't know. Probably because I didn't want to go back anywhere near
Fair.
them.
Fair.
You know what would have been a wild ending to that trilogy is if fucking like Caleb died or something. Like, what if Leah had snapped and killed Caleb?
Can we talk about the serial killer?
Sorry? Oh, the one that she...
I guess he wasn't killing anybody. He was just what? Was he killing them?
Oh,
I don't remember.
He was kidnapping.
Kidnapping
I
them.
mean, he did kill people too.
I thought so.
I knew he was
I
kidnapping.
always forget about that part of the story. Like the
And
random
it
girl that they
spans
knew.
all 3 books.
Yeah.
And then he like goes after Olivia.
Yeah.
Just the one time, and they don't ever expand on it after that.
Yeah, and they like villainize
Wished-
Olivia for defending her client, which is like her job. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Somebody's gotta defend these people.
I don't know how I feel about that plot line. Because, like, it was interesting. But, like, I wish there was more. You know what I mean? I wanted to know more about the serial killer.
Yeah, I guess I forget about that part.
It's okay, I want to know more about Muslim Black. We're all just waiting for things that we're never going to get.
About what?
The character from Marrow.
About what? Character from where?
Marrow.
I've read Marrow.
She started writing a book about Muslim Black.
Who knows if she'll ever finish it.
Yeah.
She doesn't like writing about men, I don't think.
No. But that might be I feel like she might come back around to that one.
I want to know more. Like,
I know.
That's such, like...
I feel like
continues to come up.
she leaves little Easter eggs in books that she can come back to.
Oh, well, Tarryn, I'm requesting you formally.
Even if it's a short story.
Yeah, I know, but
For real.
I've been... we've all been on her about the Muslim Black one. And she didn't like being in his head, so she dipped out.
You know what? Props.
Yeah.
I doubt it's a very happy place. Anywho, anything else about these books before we continue
No.
talking about all her other ones? What's the next one you're gonna read by her?
Oh, I'm being assigned?
Yeah. What's the next one?
Have you ever read any other ones by her?
Yeah, I've read The Watch, I've read An Honest Lie, I've read The Wrong Family, I read Mudvayne, I've read this series. Yeah.
What would you recommend next? Because I know what I would recommend.
Is it Marrow?
It's Marrow.
Who could have guessed?
Who could have guessed?
But you know what? I really kind of want to reread Fuck Love. I don't know if you would like Fuck Love. Never mind.
Tell me the girl who reads Aliens, Matt, wouldn't like...
And I think that's why, because like it's very like it's once again.
Atheist Renee Albright.
Yeah, that one's. I feel like that one's one of her more digestible ones, like for everybody. You know what I mean? It's probably one of her lightest ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying like Fuck Love is light or is like dark, but it's once again like very characters who are like very imperfect. You know.
I don't know if I'm offended by this conversation right now.
I don't think you would like. I don't think you would like the main character. Is what I'm saying.
I don't like half the main characters
That's
of the
true.
series, so...
I loved Fuck Love, but
I also loved Fuck Love.
did you? What about that book that we read that I loved and you hated that had like a similar storyline?
In 5 years.
Did you read In 5 Years?
I don't even know what that is.
Okay.
Rebecca Searle.
Because how you felt about that might dictate how you feel about Fuck
I've
Love.
not read that one.
It's the same sort of thing where like the main character has like a dream, has like a premonition that she ends up with somebody, but it's somebody who's dating her friend.
I'm gonna start a YouTube channel where I just read the books that they both disagree on. Catch it.
No, we both love Fuck Love, but it's In 5
In 5
years
years
that
that we
we
did
don't
not.
agree on.
Oh,
I
yeah.
loved it.
I'm gonna just make a list. The Spanish love deception you guys also disagree
This
on.
should just be like a thing that we do where you read books that we have also read and like
Disagree on?
even if we didn't disagree on it,
T, you got it.
because we didn't disagree on The Opportunist.
T.
But I think it maybe would be interesting if there were ones we disagreed on. And we could do a full babble on like
It's called Santana's Corner. What's up?
Santana's Corner.
Yeah.
Let's just do a...
Yeah.
You got it. Tell me a book.
Okay, so there you have it. There's our updated opinions on the Love Me With Lies series, featuring Santana's new opinions on them. Comment down below, let us know what you think. Hit that like button and subscribe, and make sure you turn on that notification bell so you know when we post next. Bye.